So there's different tools that interact with the catalog system. We've already seen the WinForm applications, which Catalog Manager and Inventory and Catalog Schema Manager that interact with the catalog system in managing our catalog, as well as modifying the schema of our catalog system. And then there's also some console applications that you can do import, export, as well as create schemas for the BizTalk adapter using some console application that are under the tools directory. There's also the MMC console for managing the site resource of the catalog manager, and then of course there's the staging application that interacts with the catalog system for moving your data from one site to another site. So let's take a quick demo and kind of review some of these tools. When you install Commerce Server, one of the options you can choose to install is the UIs that manage your catalog system: Catalog Manager, Catalog and Inventory Schema Manager, Marketing Manager, and Customer and Order Manager. By default, these tools are installed under the Commerce Server, Marketing Manager, Customer Order Manager, Catalog, and Catalog Inventory Schema Manager. If we go to the default location of where Commerce Server is installed, you'll notice that there is a tools directory. In this tool directory, there is actually there are several applications that interact with the catalog system. Import catalog, and then there's the export catalog, the catalog cycle cop, create the catalog authorization store, and then there's the inventory applications, which we'll talk about in a different video tutorial. There's also the staging environment. So if we go to Commerce Server 2007 and then Commerce Server Staging, once you create a project for the catalog system, choose the business data, and then we'll choose a site and choose a temp directory. I'm going to just choose ctemp, and then I'm going to select catalogs, and then in here I can then choose which catalog I want to stage from one site to another, or generate full text indexes once the import happens, stage catalog sets if I had any. There's some options that are also available here, as well as you can go in and create, choose the different options here, whether you want to do a full staging, incremental, expression based. We could say where a product ID is equal to a certain value, or stage equals to 1. You could create your own stage field, and then you can create a filter on top of it and further refine the search. Transactional, if you choose transactional, it'll lock the database, so this is something you don't want to do on a production site. And then also if you want to stage schemas or not. So the staging environment interacts also with a catalog system. So the next application is the Commerce Server Manager, and this basically manages site resources. And one of the resources is the site resource for catalog. So the product catalog resource basically has some configuration values. Basically these config values tell it The number of maximum full text catalogs it should be creating. By default it's 10. And then there's the connection string for the catalog database and where that database is stored. So the catalog cycle cop basically is a tool that detects circular references. In Catalog Manager you can have categories that belong in other categories, and those categories can belong to other categories. In the data warehouse does not support that, so you can run this tool to detect that circular referencing. Exporting the catalogs, you can use a command line tool to script out a export of a catalog, as well as doing an import of the catalog. The export catalog also has another option where it will allow you to export out an XSD to be used for BizTalk adapters. The create catalog authorization store, this will create your AZ authorization manager store, or excuse me, it creates your authorization store for the web services to be used. So let's take a look at the BizTalk. So in BizTalk there are several BizTalk adapters. The one that we will look for is the catalog adapter, and the catalog adapter would be interacting with the web service to perform its operations. So here's our Commerce Catalog adapter. So if we quickly take a look at this. So there are some properties that you can pass here, but there is a URL that is passed. So there's the web service URL. Here you would type in the URL for your web services, and that's how the BizTalk adapter would interact with the catalog system. So this concludes our demo.